You ever get that feeling, that little tingle on the back of your neck, that strange sensation that you're being watched online even when there's nothing there? No likes, no comments, no footprints? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain and unmasking that invisible audience. Right? You put a piece of yourself out there, a photo, a thought, and what you get back is silence. But it's not an empty silence, is it? It feels watchful. Let me tell you, that feeling you have, it's absolutely real.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We signed up for social media to be social, but for a lot of us, it's ended up feeling like we're on a stage with a one-way mirror. You're in the spotlight, but the entire audience is hidden in the dark. So, who are these digital ghosts really? What do they want? And why on earth are they so quiet? Let's crack this case. Okay, it's time to put a face to this invisible crowd. Our investigation starts now. Let's start with a number that, honestly, is probably going to change the way you look at your social media feeds forever. 90%. Yep, up to 90% of the people on social media are silent observers.
We're talking about a silent majority, a massive hidden audience that outnumbers the loud, active people 9-1. So that feeling of being watched? Yeah, it's not in your head. It's real.
Now, the industry actually has a term for this behavior, lurking. I know, it sounds a little creepy, but it's an incredibly common thing to do. So now that we've identified our quote-unquote suspects, let's dig into their motives.
And this, my friends, is where it gets really interesting. We're diving into the psychology of silence. What makes someone choose to watch instead of participate? Let's look at the clues. We've basically narrowed it down to 3 key motives behind all this silent watching. Let's break them down one by one. First up, we have what's called social risk aversion. Come on, you know this feeling. You go to like a post and then you hesitate, thinking, oh, do I really want to get roped into a whole conversation about this? That's it, right there. It's wanting the info without paying the social price. Next, we've got the TV effect. For a lot of lurkers, your profile is basically just another channel they're flipping through. They're scrolling, they're watching, they're just passive consumers. You wouldn't talk back to your television set, would you? And the third motive? It's all about information power. Think of it as social reconnaissance. Lurkers are often just gathering intel, getting up to date on what's going on so they're prepared when they actually see you in the real world. So, at its core, lurking is this constant battle between the fear of missing out and the fear of being seen. This quote says it perfectly. They want all the benefits of being in a community just without any of the vulnerability that comes with actually participating. So what happens when you add up all this lurking? Well, you get what we call the one-way mirror effect, and it's totally rewriting the unwritten rules of how we interact online. This glasshouse analogy just captures the whole thing perfectly. You, the performer, are living your life in a glass house with all the lights on. And the lurker, they're the spectator, watching from the house next door with those one-way tinted windows. They can see you, but you have no idea they're even there. And that is why lurking can feel so unsettling. It breaks the most fundamental rule of being social, reciprocity. It turns a two-way street into a one-way transaction. So what can you do about it? Well, here's the thing. It's not about trying to change the lurkers. It's about empowering yourself. It's your digital house, after all. You get to set the rules. And that brings us to a really important question for you to think about. Does the silent, invisible audience make you feel more exposed than you feel connected? And if the answer is yes, well, maybe it's time to pull the digital curtains.
The digital world is definitely haunted by a few ghosts, but now at least you know who they are and why they're there. Case closed. Thank you so much for joining us on this little trip into the shadows of social media. We really hope this explainer helps shed some light on that invisible audience. For more deep dives just like this one, make sure you revisit us here at King's Academy. So, what's your take? Have you ever been a lurker? Or have you felt their presence watching you? Let us know your stories in the comments below. We read every single one, and your feedback really does help us make our content better. And as always, if you have any questions, just ask. We're here to answer them.